Ready.
Set.
Gamecast.
Welcome to Ready, Set, Gamecast, a bi-weekly podcast about video games and the new Aladdin movie. I'm Bryce, and I'm joined by the Princess of Agrabah, Darrian.
Yes, hello. I'm Darrian. I'm the youngest princess of Agrabah, which is why I'm not in the movie. I'm not nearly as important as Jasmine, so I'm up there. I'm pretty close.
You have a lot of blue, and that is also her color scheme. So
I'm actually Jasmine in disguise.
Sure.
I'm just kidding. That's whitewashing. I will not whitewash a princess who deserves to not be whitewashed.
Speaking of things that are blue, how about that Will Smith genie? How about that? What do you think of that?
I feel like we will never be sated because, like, when they first teased it, it was like, oh, he's not blue? He's not going to be blue? Because I'm pretty sure that was a thing. We went through a thing where it was like, is he going to be blue or not? And people were mad because he wasn't blue.
I thought he was blue and people were like, this looks weird.
No, now that they've released this trailer, people are mad that he's blue because it's like, now you're making a black person blue and you're taking away his... They're making it about race.
I don't think that's what people are upset about. I think it's just about how bad it looks. It just is like... You should have CGI'd him more. Make him less look like you just Will Smith. You put Will Smith and took away his bottom. You smoked up his bottom.
So, yeah, people were first mad because when they did a teaser picture on Entertainment Weekly, Will Smith was not blue in this teaser image. And Will Smith confirmed that his genie will be blue. So then I Googled, why are people mad about blue genie? And it is 100% because it just looks bad. Okay. 3 articles are, wow, it just looks like shit.
It wasn't about race, Darrian. Everything's not about...
Okay, the only reason I thought about that is because I did scroll through Twitter and I did see one tweet about it. And this tweet was like, I mean, it was a hot mess of everybody just bitching. But like 4 of the responses I saw were, it's because he's black and fuck Disney for not letting him just be black and blah, blah. And I was like, what the fuck?
I don't know. That's a bad take. There's much better takes than that.
Yeah, like... Hi, I'm Darrian. I'm the Princess of Agrabah. Let's do a podcast.
What's the thing by your bookshelf that's leaning on the wall?
That's a Harley Quinn and Joker poster.
Oh. That crime.
I have 3 Harley Quinn posters. One of them is a canvas poster. It's
the bombshell version.
It's the bombshell Harley Quinn. And then this is the new 52 Harley Quinn that I based my hair off of.
It's the color blue. You decided to make your hair the color blue.
No, I had the blue and the red. Plus I have a life-size Harley on my wall.
Okay.
She's important and beautiful.
I haven't seen the new trailer, but apparently it's all about her not like her just being away from the Joker. Because they're doing the sirens.
For the new movie?
They're doing the sirens and the emancipation of Harley Quinn, I think is the full title. Gotham City Sirens and the Emancipation of Harley Quinn. And Darrian's now looking it up. She did not know about this.
It's like a 13-second clip. Birds of Prey.
Birds of Prey, that's what I'm thinking.
I was like, it's not sirens. I remember they didn't do that. But yeah, basically it's supposed to be about her splitting from the Joker. At some point that will happen in the movie. People are speculating when exactly that'll happen, but...
I would hope that it's right away, because I just want them to get that over with and move on with the plot. If the whole movie is about her breaking up with the Joker, I don't feel like it's going to be a good movie.
No, the movie is about them saving the child of another villain.
Tuxedo Tom.
No. She's like a teenager. Hold on, let me look it up.
Speaking of teenagers, do you know what teenagers love? Video games. Darrian, you play any of those?
Like 1 or 2.
Okay. What were they?
So I've been playing League of Legends.
Have you?
Teddy's not even here to appreciate that. I played like 4 games of League of Legends one day. I was just really feeling it. And it was a lot of fun to go back. There was no pressure. It was just goofs.
I was excited because you were playing that because I was going to pop in and yell at you to play video games with me. But then when I clicked on the thing, you must have just gotten off streaming.
Aw. Yeah, because Bryce wants me to play another game with him. And I've been playing Kingdom Hearts 3 and I was about to finish. I am definitely in like the last portion of the game. No spoilers, but that game is everything. It's so good.
I am on what I assume's like, I'm on Big Hero 6, which is the last of the Disney worlds that they've advertised. I don't know if there's secret Disney. I don't think there's secret Disney worlds. They would not do that. People
thought that they might, but I think
they wanted more, but it's like when you think about it, you think Disney's not going to pimp every world that they put in there.
The real thing that I'm sad about, because they threw Frozen in there, but I wish that they had enough time to put Moana in there. I'd like to see like a beach bod Sora surfing around on the ocean with Moana and Maui, but they probably couldn't afford Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
If the thing that upsets me is just how little Winnie the Pooh was in it. It was like...
Winnie the Pooh was fully fledged in 2 other games. I was mad when they brought in Winnie the Pooh. I was like, God fucking, I don't want to play this many mini games. And then I was pleasantly surprised and played a lot of the mini games because it was actually very good. But like, I was like, don't give me any of these fucking bullshit filler. Like, I don't. The Winnie the Pooh worlds in Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2 were like my least favorite worlds.
Oh, I loved Winnie the Pooh in the first one. That I feel like had the most emotional impact on me. So anytime going back to Winnie the Pooh, it reminds me of the first time I went to his world. But yeah, this time I was like, oh, are they gonna really like capitalize on the great emotional connect? Because like there's no Heartless there. It's just him hanging out with Winnie and friends and them having a good like connecting and having good times. But it was just like it was only real 2 cutscenes, 2 actual conversations, and it felt like nothing. And they introduced a new character that is like, why are you introducing a character for 2 cutscenes? Why are you here?
He helps with the mini game.
They could have not. He doesn't need to be there.
I think that the world was still pretty good. Like it kind of broke my heart a little bit when you entered and Pooh's like, hey, fucker.
Well, yes.
You don't belong here anymore. Like, oh God, fix it.
You know what fucked that pissed me off, and this might be a slight spoiler, but really it's the lack of, is the fact that Phil doesn't talk in the Hercules world.
That was weird.
I was so like, this is the end. This is the 3rd one, the end of the trilogy. He's finally gonna call us true heroes and stuff, and he doesn't say a word to us.
Not one word.
It was like, why? Like, he was in every other thing. Oh, what also
2 games to pay off, and you didn't. What
also pisses me off is that we didn't get a proper Olympus Coliseum, because I loved that. Like, that was a great place to grind. Like it made grinding feel like working through to a higher achievement and a good challenge and stuff. But there was just like, oh, here's the story, and don't come back here. You've got no reason to come here again, unless you didn't get the hidden emblems.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a few other things that I want to bitch about as far as Kingdom Hearts 3 is, because
We might have to do a bonus.
we'll have to do a spoiler cast.
Yeah, we'll have to do like a reacts or something once we've both finished it.
Yeah, I don't want to go too much further into it. I also want to finish the game before I give any more real hot takes, because there might still be more content that I haven't seen yet.
But there's definitely I have some opinions. There's things about. There's a lot of systems that they added in. They put in shot lock. They put in stuff. And I really like the shot lock that like every Keyblade has a different shot lock and stuff.
I keep forgetting shot lock exists. I should see what the Ultima shot lock looks like.
The Toy Story Keyblade's shot lock is so good. I will, whenever I go into a battle with a bunch of guys, even in any battle, I just sit there and burn through all my focus meter, and then I'm like, okay, who's left? I'll punch you.
Have you used the Dawn, what is it,
Amazon
Dawn Until
one?
Dusk? Yeah.
Yeah, I use that on the Frozen world because that's fire boosted stuff. So I was like, okay, this is gonna be good for these ice guys. So I rolled with that.
I haven't even been paying attention. The only spell that I use is Thunder. Like, unless it's against the Thunder Heartless dudes, then I smack them. But I just use Thunder until they're all dead.
I basically just use fire. Water takes a little bit too long to go. Like it kind of has to splash around you and then it actually goes out.
Yeah. I like Thunder because it's AoE and it attacks multiple enemies. And like the boosted fire does, but like not enough for me. Like I want to use as much damage in as little time. And I feel like Thunder achieves that.
I should put that in my quick menu. But speaking of a gameplay change that I really like they did is that you can upgrade your Keyblades.
Oh, that was really cool.
Because like you can basically roll with any Keyblade through the entire game, which kind of pissed me off about earlier games. Well, that you can equip 3 Keyblades at a time. Really, you're probably only going to stick with one, but there might be situations where you'll switch off. But it's not like, oh, I can only use this one.
Right. Well, and one thing I liked about that is like they all have their own abilities that they add. So like, okay, I'm fighting Heartless. I want to use the Toy Story Keyblade because it gives me Lucky Strike. So as I'm killing them, I have the opportunity to get more items. But then if I'm buying items if I'm going around farming items for the cooking and stuff, I can use the Winnie the Pooh one, and it gives you more items if you're like foraging or whatever.
Oh, I didn't know that. I know that I've got the Gourmand's ring, which gives you it makes it more likely for you to get an excellent, and it also gives you more food for each time you find some. So yeah, I might have to, if I'm looking for food, I might have to roll with Winnie the Pooh. But just the fact
I'm just not sure if it's like when you're like anytime you smack food out, or if it's just when you're picking up plants. For the Winnie the Pooh one, I think it's just mostly like if you're picking them up in the environment. Like if you take them out of like the takeout boxes that they have scattered around all the worlds, like I don't think that boosts that at all.
I like that. So speaking of the upgrade thing, yeah, like in previous games, you would get the like Kingdom Key, which is like Sora's Keyblade deal, and like whenever you see Sora, he's got that one. But you never really kept that past the first world because you would always get better Keyblades. But due to this upgrade system, like you can roll with the Kingdom Key the entire time because you can keep it as good as the other ones, which I really like. Like you can.
I still don't though.
I mean, yeah, so the other ones have good abilities, and I don't use it. But
fucking the Rapunzel Keyblade is so fucking broken.
What do you mean?
Like, if you switch to its form and then you just dodge around, it leaves for like golden silhouettes of you, and then you can attack, and all of them in succession will just fucking murder whatever you're attacking. It's so good. I wrecked so many bosses with that. Like just dash around, you can't hit me because I'm dodging, and then just take thousands of damage in 5 seconds.
When you're making the
crazy.
choices at the beginning, do you go like heavy magic, heavy attack, or balanced?
Heavy attack.
Yeah, I did too. So I basically been rolling keyblades that are heavy strength and low magic, whereas that one is more magic. So I was like, eh. And Erin said she tried it and that thing didn't work great. And because I think it doesn't work great if you're fighting a group. But it's probably great for bosses.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Anything else to say about Kingdom Hearts 3?
I'm not emotionally ready for it to be over. I'm about to end it.
I want them to put DLC out just to put Phil back in the game.
Just to add extra Phil.
Put Olympus Coliseum in and let Phil talk. Just
give me Phil.
Call me a true hero, goddammit.
Yeah, that was really weird. It doesn't make sense why. Like, you never used Danny DeVito in the first place, so it's not like it's like, well, we couldn't afford the real voice actor. Like, just fucking use the same guy you used for the last 2 games.
There was a great opportunity when you had to go into that last area for them to call you a true hero of like, because like Hercules,
when they fly away or whatever.
Well, like Hercules wasn't allowed in that thing until he became a true hero. So it's like, but Sora just rolls in there like it was nothing. Like, whatevs.
That's because Sora's been a real hero the whole time. Anyway, it's been a really good time. What else have you been playing, Bryce?
So the Anthem public beta came out, and I tried it, and I hate it. I was hyped for Anthem. It looked cool, but I don't know if it was the choice to put... It seems like they chose a mission, like... several missions in of like I had no idea what was going on. Then they're just like, go here, fight some stuff. It had you doing a bunch of running around. And there's so many systems to that thing, and if there was a tutorial, I didn't see it. I was very confused the entire time. I had to figure out how to play, and at the end I was just like, I hate this. And I think that was the general consensus is most people came away from that beta going like, no. I think it's technically a demo. I think it wasn't considered beta, but it should have been a beta. They should have done this earlier and realized they did it bad and go back to the drawing table, but I feel like this is going to go very badly for them. But EA is going to be doing fine because of a different game they put out shortly after the demo, Apex Legends. Apex Legends is a free-to-play battle royale from the Titanfall developers, Respawn, and it is dope as fuck. It is a class-based battle royale. I want to say there's about 8 people you can pick from, 2 of which are locked behind a paywall / grind wall. You can either unlock them by giving them money or playing enough to get enough currency to unlock them manually. It does have loot boxes, but I think you can also buy. Yeah, I think you can buy the stuff manually too. Because I went to the store and I remember I basically just go into the store to open my loot crates, which I do like that to go to open your loot crates, you have to go to the store or the page where you buy loot crates, and then you have to go to the bottom and select open them. It's like, hey, while you're here, you want to buy some? But this game does so many things well. Like, there's only one map, but going over the top of it, there's so much variety and like every area of it looks really interesting. And it's all about, okay, so you can't play solo. You can only play squads. It's squads of 3. And they make this very much about that squad deal of when you jump, you jump as a squad. Like literally, they select one of you to be the jump master, and then they figure out where they want to jump, and then the other players don't even have to do anything. They'll just follow along. You can click a button to jump by yourself, but if you do, you're an asshole. Because like everybody else is going to be working as a team, rolling together. So if you are not with your team, you're going to lose, and your team's going to be down a member because you were a jackass. But one of the things that makes this game so well, and it's really, you have to play through the tutorial before you can access the normal game. And really the only thing that you learn in the tutorial is the ping system, which is the way they've made it so you can communicate without voice chat, where you can look at a gun and click, I want to say R1 is the ping button, and then you'll be like, hey, gun over here, or like, hey, shotgun over here. Like they will shout out specific things. Like there's 3 levels of items, which are color coded. Like, so there's only so many guns, and you've got head armor and body armor. And it's just head armor, body armor. There's not like specific kinds or anything. But then there'll be white, which is standard. There's blue, which is a little bit better. And then there's purple, which is better than that. I want to say that's all. I don't want to confirm that there's nothing better than that. Maybe there's gold. I don't know. But a guy, if you ping a blue one, a blue body armor, then your guy will shout out body armor here, level 2. So if you only have level 1 body armor, you'll go like, oh, cool. I'll run over there. And if you're looking at an enemy and press the ping button, you'll shout like enemy over there, and it'll show on screen where they are, which is great because like in PUBG and Fortnite and whatever, you had to just like in voice chat go like, oh, they're about 300 or whatever. You can just ping everyone and be like, he's right there. But I had a game yesterday where we ended up winning, and none of us had voice on. We were just able to communicate so well just through the ping system, because as the circle got in, we were kind of like looking around of like where could they be coming from. And a guy was able to use the ping system to indicate, I'm going to be watching over here. And if I looked over there and pressed the ping system too, I could respond that I will also watch that area, or I could indicate otherwise. Any communication that you would normally have to do, you can handle through that ping system. The only time that I had an issue that I was not able to handle that through ping was there was one situation where we were basically in this type of bowl. Like we were at the bottom of the bowl, and then there was big circle. And we started getting shot at from up top, and one of the guys was trying to shoot back at them. And then I was trying to take cover and figure out a good way to shoot back. And I noticed more and more gunshots, and noticed that basically there was a bunch of people on the top of the bowl shooting down at us. And I just want to be like, get out of here. This is not going to work out. And I could not communicate. Like, I could have sat there and tried to ping all the guys, but it was like, no, you just need to run. Which you can ping that like, hey, I'm going this way. So there, like, this has great communication skills. Also, item management, it does so well because, like, so they've got the 3 types of body armor. If I have level 1 body armor, and I go up to a level 2 body armor, and I can grab it, and it'll just swap that out. Now, if I've got level 2 body armor, and I go see a level 1 body armor, I could try and grab it. But the game won't let me because it'll give me a thing that says you already have better body armor than this. So if I forget what type of body armor I have, another thing that it does is that if you want to switch out guns, all the attachment. Oh, also the attachments you grab will automatically jump to the gun that it'll work for, and if you switch out guns, it'll automatically attach to the new gun. Any attachments that'll work for the new gun will automatically swap. It makes things so quick and easy that like you're not spending a lot of time like focusing on item management or where to go or anything. It's just gameplay, and it's great. Another great thing about team stuff is that if you die, you're not done. If someone on your team can go to your body, grab your banner, there are certain respawn locations throughout the map. They have to go to this specific location.
Oh, nice.
And it takes a little bit, but then you'll drop down from the sky and come back. You'll have to get weapons and stuff again, but it doesn't. You're still invested even if you die. It's not over. So you're not just like, well, hope you guys do well. I'm gonna go get a sandwich, because if they can get your banner, like, you'll be back. So honestly, like it handles things, everything so well that. Oh, also, I think it should be noted, this game is probably gonna unseat Fortnite. It already kind of has unseated Fortnite. It's currently number 1 on Twitch, and that was due to Shroud streaming it, but not entirely due to Shroud streaming it, because if Shroud was not, I saw a post on Reddit talking about that if Shroud was not streaming it, Apex Legends would still have 100k more viewers than Fortnite even without Shroud. So it seems that just more people are streaming it in general, that like it is a free-to-play game doing everything right, that it could finally bring down Fortnite. And what, like, it's so crazy. I guess to a certain extent, Fortnite did the same thing, but this game just dropped out of nowhere. No one even knew it was coming. It was just like, Apex Legends is here and became the thing. But it's so fun to play, and the characters are great. All the characters have different powers, and makes the team dynamics really interesting. It's kind of like Overwatch meets the Call of Duty Battle Royale.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's fun to play, and I'm hoping to get you to play it sometime.
Yeah, maybe. I have to be in a really specific mood to play Battle Royales in general. Like, I haven't played PUBG in, like, probably, like, 3 months. Because, like, it's fun in, like, bursts with friends. But, like, it's not really something that I personally enjoy that much. But I will download it and give it a try and play with you, Bryce. I will do it.
I want to play with voice chat with you one time, but then you should definitely play with randos at least once to see how well you can communicate. No, because I have not plugged in my headset at all, but I have been able to like communicate with other players so well that we always know what page we're on. I always know where they're going and what's happening because of how good this ping system is.
I get that. My problem, like, I don't even play PUBG solo because my anxiety runs too high. Like, I'm on edge constantly about, like, oh my god, I'm about to get shot at any moment. And, like, I just don't do solo Battle Royale very well.
Yeah, you can't do completely solo because it's a squad, but yeah, but like for the pure case of seeing how good their ping system is, at the very least, like maybe we should try playing without voice chat just to see how well it can be done.
We could probably do that.
I heard the developers, when testing the system, played under anonymous accounts with voice chat off to see how well they were able to do it in. They fucking nailed it. What's another cool thing? So, because these are hero type things, that these are characters with their own voice lines and stuff, they're constantly talking throughout the game. When like a kill leader, which is the person with the most kills, dies, they'll say a voice line in that, and they're also in their character voice, calling out these things. So it makes the characters feel more alive, even more than Overwatch. Like, Overwatch, they'll talk in that, like, loading area, that, like, pre-area, but other than that, you're basically just hearing them say their like default voice lines of like, or like when they're doing their ultimate or whatever.
So it's like dynamic conversation?
They
Because like in Overwatch, like they do like all of the things that you ping, they say in their own lines, and sometimes they have different ways of saying it. But like, what do you mean?
Yeah, I guess to a certain, like, they are kind of reacting to the things happening in game. Like, there'll be announcement of like, hey, the kill leaders died, and characters will say these things, and then when you ping different things, they will respond in different ways. Like there's a character called Mirage. He's the one locked behind the paywall. I really want to play him because his you have two abilities. You have like your quick ability, which for him just sends out one decoy thing, and for his ultimate just sends out a swarm of them. Which there's also a character whose quick ability is a smoke screen, and I would love to set it up where like if we've got pinned down, she sends down a smoke screen around us, and then Mirage just sends out an army of decoys. The other players would have no idea what's going on.
Yikes. So then you can build synergy with your
like there's definitely almost a meta of like, because you have assault characters, like the girl who has a smoke, her ultimate is an artillery thing that comes down, which is very much, she's just in there to attack and stuff. Then there's somebody who brings in a healer bot who can heal your teammates, and her ultimate brings down supplies. So yeah, there's kind of dynamics about who should do what. But yeah, that's Apex Legends. Well, this brings us to the video game news. There's not too much going on. There was a few kind of re-releases and games getting more DLC and stuff. But in terms of like really noteworthy things, there's not really much. First of all, Marshmello put on a concert in Fortnite. I guess attended said concert. I heard about it, and I was like, that's interesting, I guess. But I was like doing stuff during the day, so I was like, meh. And then there were people like, oh man, that was so cool. And then there was supposed to be a like encore show at like 1 a.m. My time, and I was still awake, so I was like, sure. And I grabbed my Switch and popped it up in bed. It seemed real dumb. Like you could only do it in squads. And basically you dropped into the Pleasant Park area where the concert was happening, and there was basically a stage set up, and Marshmello's avatar was there making dances, and they had screens showing the like songs, lyrics and stuff. And Marshmello himself, I think, was like basically broadcasting his voice, because at one point I heard him go like, okay, everybody get with your squads and do your favorite emote. But like it was people just kind of running around. But then I was like, it was also like the late night one. It was maybe cooler during the day when probably a lot more people were on. But then like kind of a fucked up thing happened, was that like there were some people who picked clean the buildings, because basically the circle had just closed in entirely on Pleasant Park, and I think if you drop there, basically the circle sat there until the concert ended, and people had grabbed all the guns and they were just shooting people at the concert thing, and then you would like just respawn and drop again. But I was like, when you think about it, that's kind of effed up. Like maybe like watching the Marshmallow concert and then somebody comes in and shoots you, maybe it's not the greatest thing. But okay, so apparently there was almost 10 million concurrent users who attended the concert, which I guess makes it one of the largest concerts ever. I will say the fact that it was free and on a free game console or thing that is literally on everything, I think makes it a little easier than someone having to actually go to a concert. That's like, oh, this person watched a YouTube video a lot. That's I don't know. Do you have any opinion about this? Honestly, I was very underwhelmed by the experience.
I mean, the way that the title of the article hypes it up, I was surprised to hear about it, but the way you describe it seems like meh.
I mean,
I want to see more. I think the idea of having concerts and games is really cool. I would like to see artists embrace virtual concerts.
Yeah, see, there's actually a DJ I know named Grimecraft works on a VR basically concert thing where people can kind of do live performances of their songs or of their sets in VR and do whatever. Like you can, have unicorns flying through the sky, because it's VR, you can do whatever you want. I tried to do it once, because it's an actual concert thing. It's only during set times. It's not just replay it whenever. It's not a music video. At the same note, I guess it'll allow people, the artists, to react to what's actually happening. In terms of Marshmallow's thing, like, he's not reacting live to anything that's happening because it's separated across so many different servers, across so many different platforms, that it might as well have been a music video that played. Like, calling it a concert is a bit of a stretch. But, seeing music, try and reach into games of what can be done in terms of digital experiences is cool. Calling this a concert or calling this really anything special is like, okay.
A stretch.
Yeah. Also, so there was a guy, like, Marshmallow's avatar on the stage doing the things, and then also there was a guy in a Marshmallow avatar running around with a gun shooting people. So it was kind of a whole thing on my end. I don't know if this will really come of anything. I would like to see it more in terms of Wave VR. Let me Google real quick. Wave VR is the VR. I want to say, okay, the Wave VR is an interstellar music festival of the future you can access at any time from anywhere. So yeah, I would like to see more things like that, but I can definitely see that, like, we might see more of these things. I mean, if Apex takes Fortnite down, maybe not. And Apex is definitely, like, Fortnite seemed to definitely be trying to reach everyone. Like, it was on every console, it was on computers, it was on phones. Your microwave could play it. But Apex is the kind of hardcore version of it. It's not goofy and weird. It's not appealing to kids. I don't think we're going to see Apex Legends figures at Walmart. And it's certainly not going to be, I don't think it's going to be on the Switch, and it sure as heck isn't going to be on phones because it's too much. And honestly, playing Fortnite on phones already seems like a weird thing. But there is something that gamers will be able to play on phones. and that's Dr. Mario.
Ooh.
You excited?
Sure.
Nintendo.
It's like a Tetris-esque game, right?
Yeah, have you played the classic?
No.
Oh, yeah. You basically have pills and you have to match the colors up. It's Tetris X or Tetris style, but with like a twist of you're not just trying to complete lines, you're more trying to complete colors.
Mm.
And so they're bringing the Dr. Mario game series to phones. Dr. Mario World is scheduled for release during early summer on Android and iOS devices, Nintendo announced. It will be free to download with optional in-app purchases. The puzzle game is developed by Nintendo and other people. Yeah, basically, Dr. Mario's coming to phones. We don't really have a lot of details. They say it will be out in early summer, but Nintendo said Mario Kart Tour would be out in March. It's not coming in March, which I found was funny. I'm doing these backwards because I saw the Nintendo delayed Mario Kart Tour, which is their Mario Kart mobile game, which they're putting on phones. And then shortly after, I saw them going, like, Dr. Mario's coming to phones. It's like, maybe you should put out the game you already said was coming before you make an announcement that another one's coming. But yeah, it looks like Dr. Mario is delayed till summer 2019.
I feel like implementing Dr. Mario into an app would be a little bit easier than doing Mario Kart. I bet Mario Kart is going to be primarily multiplayer.
Yeah, oh.
I'm sure it'll have aspects of both, but
I'm curious how they're going to do in-app purchases for both of them. Probably Dr. Mario might just be like energy of like you can only play so often, and if you die you have to either wait or spend money to do energy. I guess there's some shitty ways they could do it with Mario Kart. I guess we'll see. I don't love this like phone versions. Like if they did a paid version of Mario Kart, there's just like $20 play Mario Kart on your phone, I'd be all about that.
sure.
Honestly, I could play it on the Switch, but obviously you can't play that all the time because you need a solid internet connection.
I can.
Well, fancy you. But I don't think they're going that way, and they seem to really be doing the freemium model, which I'm not so much about. And that's basically all the news I was able to come up with. But this brings us to everyone's favorite part of the podcast, the Patreon supporters. Darrian, can you tell me about that?
Yes. Last Geek has launched a Patreon to help make great content like this podcast. For the low price of $5 a month, you can get a shout out on every episode of Ready Set Gamecast, like Aaron C. and Dragons Lucas did.
Okay.
What?
You're not gonna do anything exciting and say this cool thing.
Thanks for supporting us on Patreon, dudes. We really appreciate it.
Aaron sees the girl.
Dudes is a gender neutral term.
Okay. Well, this brings us to topic of the show. So I think this is in the light of Apex Legends coming out. And Activision announced that they are planning to cut hundreds of jobs next week. Alana Pierce of Rooster Teeth put out a tweet indicating that she thinks game companies will be seeking to make more free-to-play games in the future. I will read the exact tweet that she put out. Activision plans to cut hundreds. She's Shana Laharzard on Twitter. You know what? Search Alana Pierce. That might be easier than what I just said. Activision plans to cut hundreds of jobs next week. The games industry is in a weird spot right now. Market's still healthy, but the industry giants aren't hitting their projections. If I were to guess, I'll say they'll combat this with a lot more free-to-play releases. Basically, the more games competing for consumers' time, the harder it is for publishers to meet their projections. People are buying less games overall in favor of playing more of the same one game. Publishers need you to keep you on their one game and monetize the minutes you play. I think we're definitely seeing that in games like Fortnite and honestly the Battle Royale genre in general. Like that honestly is a game of just playing a lot. It's the same experience, but you just play a lot and, grind to get more stuff that you can also just give them money for trying to monetize that. Darren, do you think this trend is true? Do you think we're heading for more free-to-play games due to the way gamers tend to be reacting? I mean, like Teddy, I think is very much an example of that. Of Teddy was, at least, during Destiny 1, he was like, I play Destiny. He might play some other stuff too, but every week he went through and made sure to do all of the check off all the boxes Destiny gave you, and then he would do the other stuff. And I think we definitely see it with Fortnite people and PUBG people that they have their game.
Well, yeah, I mean, League of Legends is that way too. Riot only has one game right now. They're potentially making another game, but for most of the time that Riot has existed, it's been League of Legends. So, I mean, yeah, I definitely see that trend actually becoming more popular with all of the games that you had mentioned. Another one is Dead by Daylight. They're made by Behavior, I think, and I'm pretty sure that's their only game too.
Yeah, I mean, it's that games as a service model that we've seen get more and more, that they'll put out a game that they're like, hey, this is fun and we're going to keep expanding on that, and then you just play this. And that's everything from, Dead by Daylight, PUBG, Fortnite, even games like Sea of Thieves, where they're like, hey, buy this and play it, and then they keep putting out free expansions for it and stuff of keep playing it. This is your game. You are a Sea of Thieves person. Or, there's so many games that have that games as a service model that just want you to be about this game.
Right.
Which is definitely far from what it used to, it used to be single player experiences. You played Spyro and then you stopped playing Spyro and played Banjo-Kazooie.
Right.
But I mean, just due to as the internet age came and they were able to update games and put out more content and stuff, it seems that they're just trying to. It's definitely probably easier to expand on something you've already made, even if that is releasing more free content and stuff, than to make a whole new game. So it's more cost effective for them to do this games as a service thing, put out new skins, put out new maps and stuff, than to put out Destiny 3. They're probably going to, even though Destiny 2 took a while for them to get good, and as the ultimate Destiny 2 apologist, Teddy was like, oh, it's finally good now. I don't think we're going to see Destiny 3 for a while, just because it's easier for them to just make more for Destiny 2. Do you think we're going to see less full game? People were thinking that Respawn was working on Titanfall 3 because there was Titanfall 1 and Titanfall 2, and they were like, people like that, and they were like, is Titanfall 3 coming? And then suddenly Apex Legends drops and it's a free-to-play battle royale, and Activision is getting rid of employees when everything seems fine. It's hard. honestly, it almost seems like the projections are bad. That I think that's an issue already, is that like they're not meeting projections, and it's like, how high is their projections? What do they expect? But yeah, I think we might be seeing this freemium model just become core gaming for a while until there's a proper backlash. I mean, at a certain point, you're probably going to end up having, like, if everybody has one game that, like, I play League of Legends, I play Call of Duty, or whatever, there'll be no new games. Everybody already has their game.
And it's going to be different for, like, multiplayer games versus single-player games. Like, if they're going to continue the story for God of War, they have to release a new God of War game.
Yeah.
I mean, they could try to continue expanding with DLCs, but there's only so far you can go with that before you actually have a whole new game. So...
I mean, it's the question of, like, are they going to look at it of going, like, we could put out another God of War, or we could have this studio work on something else that we can make as a games as service model.
I mean, I see a lot. I totally see a lot of games, developers and publishers moving on to that and having that in addition. But I don't think it's gonna kill the single player experience. I don't think it's gonna kill the release of
proper single player games. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I don't think it's going to kill it, but I do think we're going to see that reduced for a while until this maybe trend starts to wane. Because I think we'll see a trend of developers are currently putting their work towards, you know, freemium games, and then obviously if they're working on that, they're not working on, you know, Titanfall 3. So we'll have to kind of see what happens. I would like to say that, like, I hate this idea, but on the other hand, I love Apex Legends. So but I hate free to play. Like, I would love for them to put the game out for $30 because PUBG is great. I saw streamers play PUBG. I was like, this looks dope. I played PUBG. It was dope. I played it, and they put in, they asked for more money, which I will not give them, but I would rather games just go, hey, pay us $60, we'll give you the game, we don't want anything more from you. But it seems like we're seeing less and less of that, there's very few games that if they have a multiplayer mode, they're gonna have some level of, if it's not just cosmetics. Like, honestly, I was a little bit scared because this is an EA free to play game. I was like, are you gonna put in something about, like, hey, buy the good guns for $10? Because they're the ones who started this whole loot crate situation with Battlefront. But it looks like they hopefully learned their lesson. But I will say that they lock 2 characters behind a grind wall / paywall, and those are arguably gameplay that, like, yeah, they are just as good as any other characters, so you can't technically win that way. But anytime that, like, I don't get the full game experience because I'm not giving you more money, I feel like is kind of shitty.
Are they behind a paywall specifically, or can you grind to get them?
You can grind. It will take you 12,000 grind currency, and I think that's got to take at least probably 10 hours, I would think, of playing well. Like, obviously, I think more kills, winning and stuff will get you more, but I'm just short of 2,000 right now. And I've got a full win under my belt, and I've played probably about 10 matches. So sure. I guess there's probably people who can grind way faster than me. But yeah, it's like, hey, I want to play this character. This is a gameplay element that I am interested in. And it's being like I don't really care about, oh, my robot's red now. If I unlock that as a free thing, that's dope. But if you're saying that like I don't have access to every ability because I won't give you money, sucks. And yes, they're gonna give you a way to grind, but it's gonna take you a long time. And a lot of people are gonna say, "Oh, I could grind, or I could give you money," and they're just gonna give them money.
I mean, yeah, but it's not like it's a pay to win thing, right? Like, it's just another character. It's not like, well, this character wins you the game. Like, it's not really, I mean, that's fine. If people don't want to grind it out, they have the option to throw some cash at them. And ultimately, I think that provides just a healthier environment for the devs if they're doing a free to play game.
I would prefer that it's just straight cosmetics, but I can see the argument
League
why
of
it'd be
Legends
fine.
does that too. Like, you can play the game a lot and unlock all of the champions for free, or you can throw money at it if you want to unlock this specific champion and you don't have enough. Now it's Blue Essence. It used to be IP was their free currency, but like either or, like you can buy it right away, or you can play the game a bunch and earn the in-game currency to unlock the character. Like, I mean, that's the same thing to me. And like League of Legends again has been around for a long time, so like moving forward, if Apex was to add more playable characters, they would be smart to add them in that same way. You have to buy it with in-game currency, or you can throw money at it. Like, it's just it's a way to keep income for the game company, right? And since they're giving you enough of them for free, I don't think that that's harmful at all. Like, that's totally cool, especially because it's not like pay to win. Like, you're not it pay to win too far. Anything else, all right, that's fine.
I will be curious to see if maybe the available characters rotate. If they eventually give you access to oh, you're losing, like every week maybe you gain characters and lose characters, that'll give everybody an opportunity to play the ones. But
and League does that too. Like, they have so many champions now that like every week they have rotating free to play characters. So like even if you don't own it, you can play these. I think it's either 8 or 10. I can't remember if they expanded the pool because of how big the pool is now. But like every week they have a different set of characters that you can play, and there's like 2 from each role basically, and you can play them in normal and in draft modes. You obviously won't have access to any of their cosmetics or anything, and that rotates every week so that you have new champions to play if you've never played them before. It doesn't take any of them away. Like, I own all of the champions in League of Legends, so I don't really care who's free to play because I have all of them. But like for people who are newer to the game, it's like, well, here are 10 champions, and usually it's pretty mixed as far as like how complicated they are as a champion as well. Like, there are some champions that are easier to play and some that are more complicated and take a lot more skill. I imagine that if Apex evolves anything like that existing model, that they're going to release different characters that are going to be different difficulty rating of playing, basically.
Yeah, definitely there is, even right now, there is definitely the assault character is very easy to play. It's like there's no confusion of hey, when should I use an artillery strike? Hey, maybe when the bad guy, the guys are right in front of you, probably a good time to blow them up. But there's a character who can like put down 2 teleport deals linked to locations, and I'm trying to figure out what the use case for that is. The one time I tried to use it, we were getting shot at, and I was like, maybe this ability would be good right now. And then my entire team died, and was like, things were happening, and I just died before I could figure it out. And like I said, I would like there to be a training to it, so that I can figure out how to do all these abilities. What does League have something like that?
Yes, they have a sandbox mode, and they also have like they've evolved their tutorial now, so that when you first start the game, you have to learn how to do certain things before you can play a real game. But when you started, it was like here's Ash. She's your champion. Click this button to move. All right, now click on this to attack. All right, now buy an item. Okay, now do okay, now you're good. Go play. Like, what?
Yeah.
But they have, I'm pretty sure made it a little bit more noob friendly. And I want, if the free to play method continues to evolve, I'd like to see them add that as an option so that when it does grow into something huge, like it has the ability to not be intimidating to new people. Because like League is like, man, I think League would be cool, but geez, it's so complicated and I have no idea what's happening. Like, now you can play the tutorial and you'll be able to figure it out. Like, they should do that for everything. It took PUBG way too long to get that as well.
I said it before. I want battle royales to, like I said, I want them to have a single player campaign, but honestly it would be fine if there was like a robot mode, because like in so many older games, like there was a multiplayer mode in addition to the single player mode, so you learned how to play the game by playing through the campaign of like, I know how to shoot good, I know all of my abilities, and then you could go into multiplayer having plenty of practice, knowing exactly how your character controls and what abilities you have. But with battle royales, the only way to practice is by playing multiplayer and probably losing a lot, which can be definitely frustrating. So it would be great for there to be kind of a way to, play through and learn characters without it being so high stakes. I think that's kind of the curse of battle royales. Well, this brings us to questions and comments. Do you want to be part of the show? Go to readysetgamecast.com. Why do you guys always shake your head every time I say the words, do you want to be part of the show? Go to readysetgamecast.com/submit to submit a question, comment, or your favorite emote for us to read on the show.
This one's mine.
I meant like a video game emote, but yeah, sure. That's fine too.
Hi, my name's Dexterity. I'm a streamer on twitch.tv/Dexterity, and I have an emote that's behind a $25 paywall, and it's a gasm face, and it's great. Fight me about it.
I have concerns with it. There was no questions, comments, or whatever we said last time. So this brings us to housekeeping. Go to lastgeek.com for links to the podcast on all your favorite podcast services, including iTunes, Spotify, and Stitcher, as well as other things. As well as the video version on youtube.com/lastgeek. If you like the show, please subscribe, rate, and review it on iTunes and Stitcher. It helps us grow and become more powerful. Other Last Geek stuff, Gamemate Corp has a new episode. Animals 2.0? Was that the most?
No. This is the anniversary episode.
Which was something cool.
It's titled Afterlife Overtime.
Yeah, Afterlife Overtime, where you're a ghost and you have to have a job. Which I was looking for stock photo. I was looking for a stock photo of an office, and I went through and found this weird picture, which ended up being the thumbnail, basically. And I put it in the game ideas of like something based on this, and it had been sitting there for a long time, and then Beckers took that as a challenge and decided to make a game based on that, and that's what we got. Speaking of Gamemate Corp, it was just the 1 year anniversary. So to celebrate, we put up a clips video on youtube.com/lastgeek. If you haven't listened to Gamemate Corp, it's a cool little video to show some really funny moments and goofs that we've done, and might finally get you interested in consuming that content. Speaking of consuming content, Darrian, where can people consume that content of yours?
Twitch.tv/Dexterity, DEXTERIDEE. Also Twitter and occasionally Instagram. Did we mention that Teddy's not on this podcast at all?
I feel like people would have figured it out when we didn't announce him.
Yeah, but I wish we'd said, oh yeah, Teddy's not here this week, but he will be. We should do that if someone's not here. We should say, like, they're not here this time, they'll be back or something. Otherwise, it's just like, this person doesn't exist anymore.
Okay. I'll remember that. I won't. You'll have to note something. My name is Bryce. You can follow me on Twitter at Last Geek, at Twitch at Last Geek Plays, on Instagram at Last Geek Plays, on Mixer at Last Geek, lastgeek.com for all the links to all the cool stuff. And that has been Ready, Set, Gamecast. Thank you for listening, and we will see you again in 2 weeks.
Bye.